All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, earlier this morning, I decided to go in and add a little bit more SoFi technology stock to my portfolio right around $15.48. And so I wanted to make a quick video for you all explaining why I did this purchase, how much I purchased, what I'm expecting from SoFi going forward, especially with all this craziness going on, and much more. So we have a good bit to catch up on today. I know it's been a couple of days since my last upload, and that is because, as many of you may or may not know, I am actually a professional fighter, and I had a fight just this weekend, made it out with the win, took a broken hand on the way, so got to go get that sorted in a few hours. But I wanted to make a video first. And so without further ado, again, today we're going to talk a little bit about SoFi and all of which has been going on. So first and foremost, let's talk about why I decided to buy some SoFi. And this really just boils down to two main reasons, and both of them are extremely simple. Okay. The first reason why I decided to buy SoFi was because people started selling it following the Muddy Waters update from yesterday. Now, if you're not super updated with this whole situation, there's a company named Muddy Waters, and they're a firm that have recently released some allegations against SoFi, calling them fraudulent, saying they're cooking their books, saying that they're a scam, basically. Now, this first started about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and SoFi stock actually fell as a result of it. Muddy Waters came out with a whole bunch of allegations saying that they were doing this and doing that and faking this and faking that, and people got pretty scared and they sold off their SoFi stock. Well, just yesterday on Monday, Muddy Waters followed up with that and added even more onto it. Just yesterday, they said in a new report that SoFi appears to have booked a $312 million loan from JP Morgan as if it were a sale, adding the accounting treatment may have inflated reported profits and bonuses while shareholders absorbed dilution. The short seller said SoFi apparently confirmed that the $312 million was not recorded as debt and instead was booked as a loan sale in the third quarter of 2024. However, it said the Utah UCC filings contradict this treatment, indicating this transaction should be classified as a borrowing rather than a sale. So following this update from, of course, Muddy Waters, we did see SoFi stock start to sell off again. As you can see here, if we zoom in a little bit, SoFi stock did end up falling down right around that $14.90 level just yesterday, as people did, of course, take out, they kind of just jumped ship as a result of this report. Now, many people have their own opinions on short reports and things like, companies like Muddy Waters, but my stance has always been very clear. And I've had this same stance for the last 5 or 6 years that I've really paid attention to the stock market. And this is my stance. It's very simple. If company A would benefit from company B going down, I don't really pay much attention to the opinions of company A about company B, right? Because at the end of the day, when you have these companies who are releasing short reports, their incentive is simply for the stock price to go down. And if it does go down in any capacity, they make money off of it. And so naturally, they're going to come out with claims. They're going to come out with allegations. But just like the first report they released, a lot of these are just claims and allegations, not proven, not verified through third parties, non-biased parties, not verified in any way. Some of these accounting techniques that they've used are their own techniques, right? And so whenever a company comes out and says things like this, I look at it and say, what's your actual incentive here? Do you actually believe these things, or are you simply just making a claim, an allegation based on whatever you want it to be in order to make some sort of, some profit? What is it truly? Now, if a non-biased company came out and said, hey, yeah, they're cooking their books, we verified this, we don't have any skin in the game or a horse in this race, which everyone has a horse in the race, but if, we have nothing to do with this, we're just saying they're cooking their books, that's different. Right? Now it's like, oh, okay, fundamentally, my thesis behind SoFi now changes. But when a company that would benefit from SoFi going down says something to try to make it go down, I don't really care. And so in a moment where they do something like that and the price of SoFi does start to go down as a result of it, I just use it as a buying opportunity. Because to me, what's happening is that they're targeting retail investors who are emotional, who are tired of seeing the price falling. They've seen it, some people maybe bought SoFi around $30 or $32, and now it's all the way back down in here at $15, and they're tired and they're exhausted. And these are the people who will sell. These are the people who will get out. And they're targeting those people. And so the game that I like to play is to try to play the counter retail game, right? Where if retail is selling because they're tired, I'm buying because I'm excited. If retail is buying because they're excited, I'm selling because I'm nervous, right? I like to go against the grain, and that's just simply the way that I play this game. And so again, when a short report comes out from a biased company that causes retail to sell, I buy. I go against the grain. And that's reason number one. Now, reason number two as to why I did go in and buy a little bit of SoFi before I actually show you how much I bought and all that good stuff is simply just because in terms of the actual price action itself, I like the price action. I like what SoFi's actual price itself is doing. And I know some of you aren't super big on technical analysis, so I'm not going to go crazy deep into it. But in essence, I just believe that SoFi is showing very good signs of slowing down in this pullback. What you can see is that SoFi's price was going straight down. I mean, vertical down. We're talking, like the rock and roller coaster from Orlando, Florida. I mean, this thing just went straight down. And then, as of course, it did start to hit some of these key zones of liquidity, right? We have this resistance here, this resistance here, this resistance here, creating a zone of liquidity. As it got close to this zone, you can see it start to slow down a little bit. You see that change from this to this? That's called a change in slope. And when you get a change in slope like that, it's a sign, it's a clue like, hey, now that we're interacting with some of these previous order books and some of these previous buys and sells and liquidity, you're naturally going to start to see, of course, bulls step in and trying to force the price back upwards. Now, does that mean that they're going to stop it from falling? No, but it means that momentum is clearly starting to shift. Whenever you look, for example, at your 4-hour RSI, look at how you have this low into a higher low. But at the same time, you have a low into a lower low. This is called bullish divergence. And it means that as the price is going down, it's losing downside momentum. It's losing its downward strength. And that doesn't, of course, guarantee it's going to reverse, but it just means that reversals get more likely in this territory. And so when you have a moment like this in which the price is falling, hitting a key zone of liquidity and showing signs of slowing down, at the same time that you're seeing the price pulling back due to something that I just simply don't care about, I'm like, oh, that's a great buying opportunity for me. I'm willing to go in because remember, I'm new to the SoFi holdings, right? I'm not someone who's been holding SoFi since $30 or $10 or $5. I bought SoFi for the very first time just about a month ago, right? And so because of that, I went in with a pretty decent sized purchase and a lot of cash on the side to continue to buy SoFi in moments like this. And so that's exactly what I went to do. And so if we actually go ahead and look at my own portfolio, which is currently right around $363,000, $358 here and about $5,000 there, what you can see is that I did go in and add a little bit more SoFi to my position, taking the total market value of my position up to $2,300 with a total return currently of negative 11% or minus $300 with an average cost of $17.59. Now, how much did I buy? Well, I bought $300 worth of SoFi just this morning. That's kind of just adding on, and you can see the game. I started off with my very first purchase around $1,800 back on March 2nd. Then I added in $200 on March 13th, $300 on the 19th, and then just yesterday, or just earlier today, sorry, the 31st, I added another $300. Now, I actually may go in and add another $300 sometime today. I wanted to just kind of see how it responded to market open before I made another move. But this was one of the larger additions that I've done. And I'm going to continue to do this because remember, when I open positions in my portfolio, I don't like to just go all in. I don't like to just throw all my cash in at once because you never know what's going to happen. In a volatile market like this, when we got Fed going on, we got inflation going on, we got our geopolitical conflict going on, I don't want to go all in. I want to build SoFi into a $10,000 position. That is the plan. That's the goal. But I'm not going to rush into it because there's no need to. I slowly ease in 300 here, 500 here, 600 here, $1,000 here, and slowly build into it the lower we go because the lower we go, the more likely we are to reverse. And that's what I'm trying to catch is a good average cost and consistently dropping that average cost with larger purchases as we continue downwards. And so this morning I bought $300 of SoFi at $15.48, which got me about 19 shares, which is cool because just a week ago that only bought me 17.7 shares. And that's the way that I'll look at it. I want more shares. I don't particularly care about how the price performs right now because realistically, again, we're not in a great market. It doesn't really matter. I mean, just look at the last month. My portfolio in the last month is down $17,000. I'm not caring if I'm down a couple $100 in a SoFi position. I just want to slowly build my way into it. That's my goal. And that's why even over the last year, I've still been able to generate some profits in this market. Okay. And so that's my goal. That's what I'm doing. That's how much I bought, and that's kind of my plan. So at the end of the day, it boils down to the fact that I think a lot of stuff like this is just nonsense. I think there are allegations and claims that have not been verified by unbiased third parties. So I don't pay much attention to it, and I think this will just go away one day, realistically. In addition to that, I think SoFi's price is in a zone of support that absolutely could start to try to slow down this pullback and maybe try to find some stability or some consolidation at some given point, maybe even a reversal. So because of those two things, I went in, added $300 more of SoFi to my position today, and I'm going to continue to keep the ball rolling as it does play out. So that's everything for you. As you guys know, I do like to keep you updated here on this brand new YouTube channel, by the way. Every time I buy some SoFi or anything big, anytime anything big happens. So if you have been enjoying that content, do let me know. In addition to that, I have been keeping you updated on the stock market as well. What's happening in Iran, what's happening on the charts, what's happening in the news and the press and how it's impacting the stock market and what I'm doing in my own portfolio as a result of it. So if you do find this sort of information valuable, please do let me know by subscribing to the channel. We're brand new, but we're sitting at 229 subscribers in just our first month. So thank you all so much for joining in on the journey. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you all on the next one. Peace out, everybody.